What is up, our friends of film fandom, wherever you may be, however you may be watching and or listening? We appreciate you all being here and giving us just a little bit of your time. You know us, you love us. Hopefully, we love you back. We are, of course, the Harsh Truth, and I, once again, am, as always, obviously not Frank. I apologize for the delay. I was trying to sit there and fumble with Rumble, and that's going to be the new saying because it was about 20 different damn screens. I don't know what was going on. I think I hit go live twice. I don't know if it is live, Frank. That's a problem for you later. I don't know, but we are here. We are here as always, as promised. Sometimes, and that's a promise. But we're back. More zombie stuff. You get 2 doses of the T-virus this week. We are finally getting around to probably my favorite of the series, Resident Evil Apocalypse. If you read the title, the thumbnail, whatever it may be. And of course, here to talk with me about more zombies, more T-virus, more action, and all that good stuff is, of course, my wife, Ten Septum. And how are you this evening?
I'm doing good this evening. We had Taco Bell, and now I'm excited to talk about zombies.
Yeah, tacos and zombies. That's a good day. It is in fact Tuesday. It's Tuesday across the pond. Half of my namesake. So yeah. I don't know. I've got about now like 10 tabs open because of this damn Rumble. I don't know what I did or if I did anything because I had to, I don't know. There's configurations. I had to do terms of service. I had to do all this crap, and I don't even know if it worked. I have no idea. I logged in successfully, so that at least worked. But I was also trying to hit the ground running because I didn't know what I was doing. First time ever messing with that. So, but you're here. Yeah. So we're gonna talk about Resident Evil Apocalypse as I smoothly go to my notes. Resident Evil Apocalypse is a 2004 action horror film directed by Alexander Witt and written by Paul W.S. Anderson. The sequel to Resident Evil from 2002, it is the second installment, if you hadn't guessed yet, in the Resident Evil film series, which is loosely based on the video game series of the same name. The film marks Witt's feature directorial debut. Anderson, the director of the first film, turned down the job due to his other commitments, though stayed on as one of its producers. Milla Jovovich reprises her role, of course, as Alice, and is joined by Sienna Guillory as Jill Valentine and Oded Fehr as Carlos Olivera. Resident Evil Apocalypse is set up directly after the events of the first film, where Alice has escaped from the underground facility known as the Hive, which has been overrun by zombies. She now bands together with other survivors to escape the zombie outbreak, which has spread to the nearby Raccoon City. The film borrows elements from several games in the Resident Evil series, such as the characters of Jill Valentine and Olivera, and the villain Nemesis. Resident Evil Apocalypse received, quote, generally unfavorable reviews, which I feel like is going to be a really common theme amongst these movies, on Metacritic, and it became the lowest rated film in the entire Resident Evil series on Rotten Tomatoes, surprisingly, with a rating of only 18%. Despite this, it earned 129.3 million worldwide on a $45 million budget. So big number do good thing upward. That's what we like to see. Surpassing the box office gross of the original film. It was followed by Resident Evil Extinction in 2007. And the website's consensus reads, quote, Resident Evil Apocalypse has a lot of action, but not much in terms of plot or creativity. Wow, not much to say this time, guys. Just like, it sucks. Which, okay. Good review, guys. Get your quick thoughts on this movie before we dive headfirst into the apocalypse. What do you think of this movie?
I enjoyed it. I think it was fun to watch. I found it really fun. A good second movie to the first. I found it less confusing than the first one for sure. Definitely was easier to follow what was going on as someone who has not played the games nor watched these movies before. Those are kind of what my quick thoughts are before we really get into this thing.
Yeah, it's not, well, I will say not yet, because I have seen all of these, I think, except for the final chapter. It is going to get a little wonky, and it's going to start getting a little convoluted, because it's like, what? But this one is a little more straightforward, and I don't really think that's a detriment to it. It's, you know what's been set up from the first movie, that this infection is now spread to the outside world, albeit at the hands of Umbrella, of course. Which I gotta show this. That's an iconic shot for this movie. I love that, the Umbrella symbol inside of her eye. Yeah, of course, Umbrella Corporation is obviously always to blame for all this. And now they've let this out and let it out into the world. At this point, the world being Raccoon City, which I think for the most part they've kind of kept it contained to just Raccoon City. Being that the most video game thing I've ever seen is that it's conveniently just one bridge in and out of the city, but I don't think that's how things work. But whatever, I'll let it go. I'll allow it, because honestly, yeah, this movie was a lot of fun. It's just shooting zombies and a lot of that, which you can probably very clearly hear. He's hauling, yeah, yeah, a whole lot of that. So I think it was just an enjoyable movie. It's just, I mean, I don't know what you want. It's as Frank says, put the popcorn in your face and then just enjoy the ride. You know what I mean? And that's kind of what this is. It's the casting, which we'll get into the. Oh no, we gotta get in the director first. Wow, I'm dumb. I've not done this show for years. I almost thought I was right. I'm like, oh, plot number 2, cast. No, I'm dumb. The first one is the director. Yeah. Critics be damned, which has kind of just been, I think, a tale as old as time. So, whatever. Like I said, if you watch a movie, I mean, what are you gonna do? You lose a couple hours of your time, maybe. But if you like it, you like it. And I mean, these came out like when I was I was not in high school yet, but these were kind of a big thing around the time I was in high school. So I mean, I enjoyed them. And there is actually something about that. Kind of. You'll see what I mean when we get to the very end of the trivia. There's something that made me giggle that I had to put it in the trivia for you guys. So we got some good trivia for this one this time. Of course, my mom's in here. Obviously, got to keep it classy. So watch your mouths, as I say, but not as I do. You know how that works. So we have. I don't have a picture of the. I don't have a picture of the director because I don't know, I'm just lazy. So all these pictures went so damn dark. I wish I could find let's get stars, the Stars crew versus the zombies, if you can barely make out what it is. First thing is the change to the director of Alexander Witt. Of course, as we know, Paul W.S. Anderson still had his hand in this. He stayed on as a producer. But so what do you think about this change of director for Alexander Witt, and what he did with this movie?
I mean, you can tell that you can kind of tell that it was done by a different director, just by the way that the pacing and the plot of the movie was laid out. You can definitely tell that there was a difference there. I like the way that he took this movie. I liked that it was a bit more straightforward and a bit more, I don't know, simple, sort of, in a way, than the first movie was. I was looking over his page here of stuff that he's done. He hasn't done a whole lot. Mostly a camera guy, looks like. But I liked what he did with this movie.
Can I unmute myself? Good Lord. I'm looking at his list. Not a very long list. I'm trying to see if he actually directed this movie. No, he did not. It was Ridley Scott. Wow. Interestingly enough. Because some of these movies in this list I have seen or at least have heard of, which I guess I've seen them. But in terms of being a director, I don't think the ones that I've seen that I brought up, I don't think he was the director. So he had his hand in it in some other way. Fast Five, which I was kind of like, maybe this is the thing I actually liked about the early 2000s and not Fast and the Furious. No, I like the original Fast and the Furious, like up to like Tokyo Drift. But I'm like, it's the same thing of, okay, these movies are bad, but they're making money, so we'll keep making them, like, regardless. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, I feel like this series is also kind of in that same vein, but I'm like, I don't know. I actually like these. I don't know. Maybe because the suspension of disbelief is a little different because it's a video game and it's like it's zombies and it is unrealistic in itself. It's like, but when you have like street racing and then all of a sudden like cars are in space and now you're doing physics breaking things that like cars can't do, I'm like, okay, this is kind of goofy and it's just dumb. I don't know. The Twilight movies are bad, but they kept making money as well. That seemed to be a trend in the 2000s. I don't know why that kept happening. Inspector Gadget from 1999. I don't know what he was in that because he wasn't the director. That's an interesting one. Great movie. I feel like that would be a fun random just like stream one day. That'd be fun to go back and watch Matthew Broderick. The only other one that I really know is Body of Lies that had Leo DiCaprio and I believe Russell Crowe. He wasn't the director of that either, but I've seen it. I think I saw it once. When was that? 2008. Yeah, I specifically remember because I was with somebody who had a huge crush on Leo DiCaprio, which I don't blame them, but that's the only reason I watched that movie. And I'm like, hey, I know that guy. He's a gladiator, you know, because 2008 me was that was where I was at. Yeah, but I agree. It does feel different. It does. It kind of just ups the action a little bit more, I think, that's what kind of made it fun. It kind of felt like a video game in a way. You just want to mow down zombies and just, you know, feel like a badass. Like I know I have the picture of, where is he? Like I have this picture of Olivera here, just mowing down zombies, like, you know, like it's nothing. So, and sometimes simplicity is the best way. I think it works. It kept a story going. It's, you know, very open-ended from the ending where you just see Alice walk out, she cocks a shotgun, and now it's like, okay, but where do we go? We have this whole city that's now been overrun and to explore. So yeah, I think it's a good job. It kept the narrative going. That's the most important part. It's at least not like Star Wars, and I'm talking about the new Star Wars, which you're volleyballing two different directors here. Like, let's have Abrams do it. Let's have Rian Johnson do it. Now let's have Abrams clean up the mess. You know what I mean? So, and no sense of story in between any of them. So, we used to have class. I'm sorry. That's a different different podcast, different day where I could just complain about Disney Star Wars. I did give it a chance. You can't say I didn't. I gave it a chance. What's next? After that down urban note? Oh, cast. Yeah. Cast. So I have one labeled new cast because we have a couple of people joining the crew of what's his name? Wells, Terry, and of course Jill Valentine, who's a staple of the video game. And of course we have returning as Milla Jovovich as Alice, as always, and Olivera, who I just showed, and another special guest who I am going to save because I have to, and it's one of my dumb things I love about this movie. But what do you think about this cast? Who stands out to you?
I really liked the addition of Jill Valentine in this movie. She was really fun as a character. I really enjoyed her and her role. She was just fun. I mean, I'm sure that her outfit had something to do with the video game because I don't understand why she was wearing that. That's a what
range of movement.
Range of movement. Sure. We'll go with that. But no, I really liked her character. I thought that she was fun, and enjoyed all of the action scenes with her and Alice together. I really enjoyed her character.
Yeah, someone as like I said, as iconic to the video game as Jill Valentine is, I think they nailed it. She's, you know, she is a badass, and through. That's just kind of her, that's her thing. There is something about the trivia with that, with the actress, and then how she went about playing Jill. So I always appreciate when people do stuff like that. She was pretty cool. I thought I had one of her and Jill, but again, all these damn pictures are just the same tone of just like dark and blue, and I can't tell what any of them are. Yeah, I think new characters, and I think my favorite character is fucking obviously LJ. I love this dude. I always love like the comic relief characters because I mean that's just kind of who I am as a person too. He was hilarious. Yeah, he just, I mean, even if it's maybe one note, but dude, he's always got the best lines. And I don't know which of like the 5 or 6 that he says in this movie that I really wanted to pick, but
good comic relief.
Yeah, I was like, I think motherfucker, please, my shit is custom is one of my favorite. Or at the end when he knocks out the bad guy and goes like, yeah, but I usually drive a Cadillac. Like just dumb shit like that.
GTA.
Yeah, and like yours, he was like, GTA, bitch, 10 points. God, he's a funny dude. Like he needs to keep the humor out throughout the apocalypse. Like when he's hanging around Olivera, who's obviously been bit, and he's like, "Man, I was sitting there hanging out with you. You're fucking infected and shit. What the hell, man?" He just walks away from him. Yeah, he was pretty awesome. God, there's so many badass shots of it. I got to use this one, but I think I'm going to lessen my my criticisms of Nemesis a little bit because of some stuff I read in the trivia that my probably teenage brain at the time who played the games didn't know, that I felt like, okay, but you kind of just underutilized him and ruined it. But like, it was just like, yeah, okay, well, hi, Nemesis, goodbye. Hope we never see you again. I don't know. It's something I wanted more of because he is pretty iconic to the game. I mean, for the third game is called Nemesis, so him being kind of the staple of that game. But I think that addition was really cool. And we get to see some of the I put one in there, but we saw some of the stars units, which is kind of cool. Even though they got immediately mowed down by Nemesis, which, the only thing he ever does say is the word stars, and he's just, after them. I guess quick side shout out. I love this guy. This particular Stars agent who's just on the roof drinking a beer and just sniping zombies in the head. And I was like, yeah, you know what I'd be doing in an apocalypse? I'd go up somewhere high and just sit there and just take pot shots at him. Why not? He was awesome. Rest in peace, because he got taken the hell out by Nemesis, as one does. Yeah, I think everybody worked well together. It didn't feel too overcrowded. Everybody melded together pretty well. Even like Terry, her thing of trying to get her Emmy by filming all of the apocalypse in Raccoon City. We know how these zombies go. It's like, yeah, it don't take a lot, man. You're one false move and you're dead. And that's the end of you, unfortunately. Why is that telling me? Oh, it's Google constantly telling me I have no storage. Whatever. I'll listen to you. Okay. Well, yeah. Moves us nicely along, kind of, to plot. So, plot of this movie. Like I said, it's in the title. The apocalypse has now come to Raccoon City. Everybody's trying to get out. Of course, they quarantine the city. Umbrella Corporation is, terrible. They're like, hey, we'll just start shooting you if you try to leave. It's like, yeah, good PR, guys. But they've got all the money in the world for the next like 20 lifetimes. They got the media in their pocket. They got the police, probably everybody. Doesn't matter. They can sweep anything under the rug. So everyone's kind of trapped. And more importantly, I have a picture of him. We have Dr. Ashford as a new character. who is one of the big wigs at the Umbrella Corporation, and this is the beginning of the movie when they're trying to escort all these high profile people out as the apocalypse comes. One of whom is also somewhere in here, his daughter, Angela Ashford, who, if anyone did not catch, she is the Red Queen as well from the first movie. At least that was an AI version of her. That's what she was modeled, or she was modeled after her. She was being escorted out, but of course, her car gets into a wreck, and she's now stuck in Raccoon City, and of course, stuck inside with the only other seemingly living people still, which are basically our main cast, and two of those Umbrella operatives, who I said, Olivera and Nikolai. And so Dr. Ashford is like, well, if you go rescue my daughter who's still stuck in here, which I have a convenient picture of, she went back to her high school, or junior high, sorry. Place of familiarity and all that, and said, hey, you get my daughter out, I'll get you guys out. Sound like a deal? Cool. That's basically your movie. And tiptoeing around Nemesis, because, you got to have the big bad. So, plot. How's this plot work for you? Is it, like you said, make more sense? Is it a little more, I don't want to say streamlined, but kind of a little easier to follow than the first movie, I'd say. But yeah, what do you think about this plot?
I think it makes more sense to me for sure than the first movie's plot does. Easier to follow, easier to understand. I enjoyed it. I liked the part where it kind of intermixed, them trying to find his daughter, and also, how they all come together, including the star officers, the two that were kind of left behind in a way. Bringing them into the picture too at the junior high, near the end there, how they were also given the directive to find the guy's daughter near the end. The plot definitely worked for me. I thought it was good. I like the part where he was calling the phones as they were walking around down the line. I thought that was pretty clever.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, apparently in 2004, if all you have is a laptop, you can just basically do anything if you're like that much of a nerd, I guess. That's how things work, guys. Yeah, I was gonna say, I know I have a picture of the two of them back to back fighting zombies, but I've separated them. So, like I said, Olivera, and of course, this gentleman right here, which is one of my favorite things about this movie because it's so niche and so dumb. If anybody has ever seen the classic 80s movie A Christmas Story, that is little Scott Farkas. That is the bully that beats up Ralphie and his little brother. No joke. I don't know why. That's just a weird thing about this movie that I like. I guess Scott Farkas grew up and started fighting zombies, so that's just kind of funny.
Fitting.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, going beating on kids to beating up zombies. Why not? I'll label this Scott Farkas at your service. Also, moments right before disaster because he gets his face bitten off by a zombie dog. Wah wah. He's not long for this movie, but damn, it is kind of just funny to see him in this. That's just weird. Just things that I notice. A plot. Yeah, it's a little more. Yeah, it's a little more straightforward. Kind of makes sense. Like we have a goal. Kind of, you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. With them getting in contact with Dr. Ashford. I feel like, even if, not to say that the first movie you don't need, but it's like, I feel like this could have been like the first movie of this series and it still could have made sense. It feels like it's simple enough, it works. It's like you understand, oh, an apocalypse happened. Mainly because also the very first like 5 minutes of this movie is her as Alice recapping the entire first movie. And I'm like, oh, well, thanks, I guess. Because I kind of feel like, well, then what was the point of me watching it? Maybe to watch, Michelle Rodriguez kick ass. I don't know. That's why. But, Oh god, another early 2000s movie that also had that problem was Spider-Man. I love Toby as Spider-Man, but damn, those movies, 2 like recapped 1, and then like 3 recapped 1 and 2 all in the beginning. I'm like, we watched them. Believe me, we watched these movies. Like, we're here to watch 3, which unironically is still actually pretty good. So, emo Peter Parker is still the best. God damn it, it's cringy as hell. But yeah, this movie does that. It does a lot of like recapping. There are a lot of flashbacks to stuff like archive footage, I guess you could say, that we've seen from the first film, like where we see Matt and Alice being separated and him being put in the Nemesis program, which we see come to full fruition, unfortunately. Yeah, but despite all that, it has enough, original plot to itself to keep it moving. And of course, it always ends on a cliffhanger. Just every one of these damn movies does. And I swear, I'll say this to you, and I think it will make sense. It's like I feel like Alice just levels up after every time, which feels like a video game, because every time she comes, at the end, she's leveled up some. She's got some other new bullshit power. But hey, somewhere I have a picture that says like I think it was called more Umbrella Corporation bullshit, because that's just something new just comes out of the woodwork. Which I definitely can find. There it is. We have this new weird little brainy monster that was in the church, which are horrifying. But I do have this badass shot. I'm like, but Alice is back to save the day, baby. She rides a motorcycle into that church through the stained glass window, backflips off that bitch, and puts it right into that monster and shoots it, blows it up like the badass action hero she is. So. Yeah, why not? We know that they don't just explode after shooting like once or twice, but that's video game logic, and I'll allow it. It's fine. Yeah, fun plot. Like I said, it's not as trying to come into it and making sense of it like the first one is, but I'm also someone who watches movies like repeatedly, so I'm like, once I see it, I'm like, oh, I get it. Yeah, okay. Outbreak, kind of contained. Becomes uncontained. Oh crap, what will we do next? Make like 5 more sequels and a terrible TV show about it. Dear God. I don't want to do the show. I don't even know if I want. I just want to do the Alice movies. I'm fine with that. That's what we're here for. So yeah, I think we all have thumbs up about the plot. Oh yeah, the next part. This is, in fact, the lowest rated film in the entire series. So the question is it really that bad? I will pass that question on to you. I know you're shaking your head, but is it worth all the hate? I mean, remember, this is all coming from critics. So what do you think about that?
I don't think it deserves hate. I mean, I don't think it was that bad. I mean, I don't think it was bad. Like, it was enjoyable. I mean, I can see why critics may not have liked it. Critics being, critics, but I don't think it was all that bad. I mean, there were parts that were, I guess, kind of iffy, I suppose, but I don't think it was that bad.
Yeah. I don't think I actually knew that this was the lowest rated one. So not trying to be like the hipster where I'm like, no, this is my favorite one. I'm like, no, this was always kind of my favorite one. I really like this one because it was just not necessarily, I know I said kind of mindless. I'm like, yeah, it's just shooting zombies and just, it's zombie stuff, and of course, these aren't your dad's zombies. These ain't your Romero zombies. These are 2000s zombies, which those fuckers sprint. They can like jump over walls. They can climb walls. They can do all kinds of crazy stuff. And when we did 28 days and 28 months, I kind of like that twist of the brutality of like how fast that shit happens, because it's like you don't have any time to really react, especially if it's you being bit or someone being bit. Maybe a little more so in this one. It's like, it's not like 28 days where it's like almost immediate that you turn into a zombie, but or an infected, rather. Sorry, they're not actually zombies, they're infected, whatever. But in this one, like, yeah, you get infected, you turn into one of them. That's what the T virus does. It does take a little longer, but yeah, they're not shuffling around, not like Walking Dead zombies, which are a little more closer to like Romero zombies. I liked it, and at the time, and I'm trying to think of at the time too. I'm like, is it maybe because like not every damn movie is an Oscar movie? Like that's not it's not that's what they're all looking for, and they hold like every movie they watch that regard. I feel like where it's like this is the next like oh, what's that? What's the actor's name? Oh my god, the guy. God damn it, he played Lincoln in a movie, which I know doesn't narrow it down. Shut up, I know. I'll look this up now. It's gonna piss me off. No, I don't want. If I could spell Lincoln right, holy crap. I'm gonna get there before I even get there. Daniel Day-Lewis. I'm like, he has 3 names. Damn it, I know his name. It's not every movie is a Daniel Day-Lewis movie. It's not Oscar bait. It's not something that's gonna blow you away with this crazy intrinsic plot, dude. I don't know. Can you just have fun? We used to have fun. This is that time, and I'm wondering if in this time it was just like it's just pew pews and zombies. Who cares? Next, you know what I mean? I don't know. Some people like that kind of thing. I like that kind of thing. I don't know what's wrong with that. I'm actually looking at Rotten Tomatoes right now. It is an 18%, sorry, for critics. It is a 60% for audiences, so a little better, but it's not great. But however, that ratio is still what you usually expect. I don't know. And it is also kind of in the vein of not horror, but it's zombies, thriller, yeah. Like action, horror, thriller, I don't know. So they don't get much love, as we know. And also, again, this is still video game movies aren't exactly the best things in the world at this time. Took them probably another, I don't know, 10-ish, 15 years to get it right. Because here we are now, actually 20 years later. We just had the Mario movie come out, and it was actually phenomenal. Even though they said that sucks. So that's what I'm saying. They'll still say it sucks. I don't know. The only thing that they're going to ever talk good about is hyping up another Oscar movie. It's whatever. Just watch what you like. If this is your bag, that's your bag. Take it with you to the store. I was going somewhere with that. I'm trying to like take the reusable bags. That made no fucking sense, but it made sense to me. Shut up. Shut up. I don't think it's that bad. There are definitely, in my opinion, movies that are a little bit less than this one. I'm trying to think. I think the one that I saw was the 5th one. I don't remember what it was called. I see the cover because I don't think I watched the final chapter. I cannot say that I remember that at all. With that one, I think I was even just kind of like, what are we doing? I'm confused. Like me, I got confused. I'm like, huh? I don't get it. And this is from someone who's played the games where I'm like, what the hell is that? What is, where's that damn, yeah. You start seeing monsters like this and zombies that can, kill you with chainsaws. I'm like, yeah, but what are we doing in this movie? That thing made more sense to me. But no, I disagree. I think it's fun. I like this movie. Like I said, a little teenage me who always wanted to make his own zombie film was, just giddy in his seat. You guys can ask Brooding Gamer about that. We definitely attempted on several attempts to do so and did not pan out, but that's okay. The passion was there. I wish I still had the little bit of camera footage when we were doing this little side rant. This little panning shot, and he wasn't supposed to be in the shot. So it was me, and then like this girl who survived. I just found her, or whatever. We're panning along, and like we're acting like we're going into the house and shit. And he was walking behind us and didn't realize it, and he just like almost like the Bigfoot, almost deer in the headlights, just stopped and like just froze, and we just kept panning. It was just funny watching him just realize he wasn't supposed to be in the shot. He just stopped and was like, oh. I didn't know what to do. And he just stood there. It was it was funny to try and edit out, but it ended up being a shorter shot. That was just funny. And that's also me, like, having only worked in a haunt for like what, I don't know, a year or two. So some of those effects weren't that great, but I tried. I got a good zombie bite, arm rip out of somebody, and one of my friends was an absolute trooper for throwing up on camera multiple times. Not actually throwing up, using, it was a big bowl of oatmeal and water, milk, cinnamon apple oatmeal. It was actually really good. I tasted some of it. It was really good. The puke, but big bowl of it. She just kept taking swigs and throwing up, a couple takes of it, and that was fun to clean up. But yeah, fun times. On that side note, that's kind of it. Like I said, not a lot to really discuss about it, but I mean, it just is what it is. I've got a decent amount of trivia, I guess, which is a good thing, because some of these will warrant a little bit of discussion. So let me get one of those. I have a badass shot for the first one. We're going to talk about Nemesis. First one, the suit for Nemesis weighed in excess of 60 pounds. Stuntman Matthew G. Taylor could only stay in it for periods of up to 15 minutes before it got too hot. And I added this bit in here because it was mentioned later. The gun itself, that big Gatling gun he had, weighed 65 pounds on its own. So, it's like, I wish I could have got your just eyes. Yeah. So I will lessen my my criticism of like kind of what they did with Nemesis to say, oh, now I get it. Now I get how movies are made. And there's a guy who's in that suit. It's a practical suit. I mean, I got a picture of his, like, of the face of it too. It looks really good. I'm not gonna lie. If you've seen Nemesis, like, damn, there he is. This little scary ass face. Like, yeah, that's cool. I love this practical suit, but dear God, man, give it for the stunt guys who do shit like that. The gun itself weighs as much as the suit does. That's what gets me. So, yeah, no, I I get it. Yeah, I kind of get it now. I didn't make these check marks. Damn it. That's fine. Let's go back to Jill. We need Jill Valentine. Where are you? There you are. It's a good shot, Jill. God, I can't talk. It's the women in the stompy boots, okay? If you ask me where it started for me, damn it, it was in the 2000s. All these women doing badass shit in these big stompy boots, okay? It's not my fault. To prepare for her role, Sienna Guillory actually bought a PlayStation 1 console and a copy of the game to study the Jill Valentine character. She also based her movements of Jill by watching the way that Jill moved in the game Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, which came out in 1999. So, she put in the work. The outfit makes sense, damn it. I don't remember if I put that in here, but it's, of course, the criticism is like, oh, well, look at the way everyone's dressed, especially the women. And they're like, I think even she came out and said, like, yeah, Jill got attacked in her apartment. She didn't have time to change. Like, what do you want? And Terry came from work. Of course, she's in a little pencil skirt. She just came from work. She works at the news station. Alice is a fair one. I'll give you that. Whatever. But to be fair, she'd be wearing a lot less clothing in some of these movies. So, that is what it is. I mean, it's not like the director isn't, her husband. So, let's get. We've got zombies. There we go. Let's go back to the stars versus zombies. As it was in the first film, the zombies were all mainly professional dancers. They attended a, quote, undead boot camp where two of the cardinal rules were no dragging your feet and no outstretched arms. So yeah, none of that Romero stuff, but makes sense. A lot of stunt guys, especially too. They do dance, they do gymnastics, all that kind. I mean, because you got to be able to bend every which way. famously, Darth Maul did dance and ballet. If you've ever seen Darth Maul move like a motherfucker, that's why. He is light on his feet, and that's why he's scary as a bad guy. So, and I just said that also kind of sounds like something else we know about, Walking Dead. There is a zombie school where they learn how to do this kind of thing. So, although I think they do drag their feet because, you're dead. What are you going to do? Another good one. Always one of our favorites. I gotta go down. Zombie Doggo. Of course. The dogs were not computer generated. Just like with the first film, the makeup was applied to the dogs, and although it did prove troublesome once again to train the dogs not to lick off the makeup and prosthetics. I love that for these movies. Dogs being dogs. They're just having the time of their life and they're happy to be there, and then they got to remember, oh yeah, I got to be scary for, I'm really hitting myself for not remembering. I don't want to ruin it, but I'm like, they do an iconic thing from the game, and I'm like, I haven't seen it yet. And if you know what I'm talking about, oh god, I can't wait to see that. I want to say it's in 3. I really hope it is. Okay. One of my favorite things about this. Where's the picture? There it is. Talk about my favorite character, LJ. According to here's what could have been. This is where I was like, I kind of like this, but I'm not mad about what we got. According to Paul W.S. Anderson's commentary for the DVD release, rapper / actor Snoop Dogg was originally chosen to play the role of LJ, but left the project probably due to scheduling conflicts or whatever. Actors are busy, so
that would have been incredible.
I think it still would have worked. I think it would have been, the character would have just been exactly the same. And it's Snoop Dogg. I mean, you don't go wrong by adding star power. So, and somebody who we do know is, somebody who does play video games. So I think that's awesome. I'm not mad, but damn, Snoop Dogg would have been amazing in this movie. I still feel like he would have had 2 gold-plated like Desert Eagles, like dude did. Like, come on. Even though it's ahead of its time, instead of saying GTA, he could have yelled Fortnite. That's one for the kids. He is in Fortnite, because of course he is. Oh yeah, because we talked about this a little bit. I don't know if I really have a good. There's one of kind of Raccoon City. That kind of works. Zombie horde coming in. Around. Excuse me. Good lord. Around the 2. Oh no, I remember. I wanted to picture Terry. Well, screw Terry. She wasn't important. Sorry. Around the 2-minute mark, the weather app at the beginning clearly shows Raccoon City as it being approximately in the area where Philadelphia is in Pennsylvania. Other real-life towns such as Selling Grove, Hazleton, and Pottsville all appear in their correct geographic locations. This is based on the novelizations from the video games written by S.D. Perry, where the fictional city of Raccoon City and surrounding Arklay Mountains are said to be somewhere in Pennsylvania. So we're trying to figure out where Raccoon City was. I think it's a Midwest town. The Midwest is a mysterious place. I would know because we live there, but I know you could just believe, yeah, there's a Raccoon City somewhere hidden that we're not going to tell you about. So it's classified if we have a secret underground facility with zombies in it. So you'll never know. Okay. So I apparently put these mildly out of order. I tried to put them in order. We'll go to this one real quick because it kind of piggybacks off of each other. That's a picture of LJ. I don't want that. Okay. Let's go to Olivera. Oded Fehr had little difficulty in playing a character who is so familiar with handling guns because he was in fact trained in the Israeli army. So, dude's no slouch. He knows what he's doing. So, I love that. Where is it? Yes. Okay. So I kind of put these a little bit out of order. So I saw these come up and I saw this today. It's got to be true. I put these next two in here just for you because I thought this was really interesting. I kind of found the moment. So when Olivera throws the knife. Around the 29-minute mark, as Oded Fehr and Milla Jovovich discuss on the DVD commentary, the zombie that gets a knife thrown into his dome by Olivera is the ex-guitarist from Evanescence. Specifically. Yeah, so specifically, that zombie gets a knife to the dome from him was one of the co-founding members of Evanescence, the former guitarist, Ben Moody.
Ben Moody.
Of all things. So there's that.
That's cool.
Right, and then even cooler than that, I don't know if I have a shot of it, because I tried to really find him. I was like, that's the best I can get, is him kind of mid throwing the knife. Where is it? Damn, I don't really have one of the building. But you know what? You know who dies on top of the building? This douche nozzle. Who I said, and again, if you've ever seen an early 2000s movie, earpiece means a bad guy. Every time, 100%, that's a fact. Earpiece means a bad guy. So I'll go to this one for that. For the next one, crap, there went my notes. To piggyback off of that, when the group escapes the building after Alice's showdown with Nemesis, the former drummer of Evanescence, Rocky Gray, is one of the undead in the mob that stormed the rooftop right before the new kids.
All right.
So that's what I was saying earlier. I'm like,
weird.
That happened twice. Two's not a lot, but it's weird that it happened twice.
Yeah.
So apparently 2 former band members of Evanescence, again, of anyone you could be in the early 2000s, were just zombies in this movie. So
random.
Yeah, but hey, if you're gonna be like, hey, I'll be a zombie in this movie. Okay, guy's gonna hook a knife at your head. Go for it. I would say do it. Can I have your autograph? Can you send the knife first and then throw it in my head? I don't know. That'd be cool. So yeah, I love that. Also because I'm pretty sure, God, again, I'm going back. If you deep cut, I'm pretty sure you can find one of Rooting Gamer's old channels, and like we had not like a soundtrack because we're lame, but like I'm pretty sure we actually used "Bring Me to Life" as one of the songs from our zombie movie, because of course we fucking did. Yeah, hey, look, yeah. It works. It's appropriate. It's fitting. Okay, Nemesis. Oh, perfect. Kind of going off of that moment at the end. Somebody's commenting, yay, please. Somebody's British. Who are we talking about? Who's British? Somebody. You're talking about the drummer? I don't know. I'm like Olivera's not. He's definitely Israeli. So
not Ben Moody.
No. Gray. What was his name? Something Gray. Rocky Gray. Oh no! Wait! I know what Frank's talking about. Stereotypes. The bad guy is British. Of course he is. Never mind, man. You wear an earpiece and you're British. You're asking to be a bad guy. Sorry, I was like, no, Evanescence is American. Now, hold on, I know this. Okay, where was that? Okay, I know.
Nemesis.
No, not Nemesis. Running Down the Hill. We are going to Tom Petty this bitch. So around the 1 hour and 3 minute mark, Milla Jovovich actually did the last 40 feet running down the city hall herself. It says the city hall. Oh yeah, down the hall, not down the hall when she got shot by the helicopter. She actually did the last 40 feet of the run, and of course her stunt double did the first part about 200 feet above the ground. Yeah. I mean, hey, that's cool. I'm glad you at least did some of it. It's more believable when you actually see the actor doing it. Yeah, I got there, Frank. I eventually got there in the end as the bad guy. I know what you mean. I'm sure there's another trope. There's got to be. I don't know. I can just say this one real quick. The movie uses elements from plots of Resident Evil 2 and Resident Evil Nemesis, which actually came out in 98, 99, man. They were cranking these games out. Because I'm pretty sure the first one was 97. So, yeah, they were cranking out these Resident Evil games in the late 90s. And then Well, still to this day, actually, hell, we're still making Resident Evil movies now, so yeah, it's a staple. I just need I need a picture for this. Who haven't we used yet? We used Scott for. Let's use one I call Drop Shot, because video game stuff. Where was it? Paul W.S. Anderson voluntarily bowed out of directing this sequel as he was too busy prepping for Alien vs. Predator. Wah, wah. He stayed on as the producer for this film as well as the next, Resident Evil Extinction, out of his dissatisfaction with how Mortal Kombat Annihilation, which, yeah, fair, had turned out. Anderson directed Mortal Kombat from 95, but skipped Annihilation due to scheduling conflicts with Event Horizon, all bangers. But disliked the final product so much that he wanted to stay as involved with the Resident Evil series in some capacity to, quote, shepherd the franchise. He eventually returned to direct Resident Evil Afterlife in 2010, as well as the final 2 movies. So, stay in it, It, like we said, not like this one really got away from it, but, he did stay as the producer, and he did kind of keep himself involved with these movies because it's kind of his baby. Like, he's kind of the video game movie guy. So, like I said, he did Mortal Kombat. He did this. Monster Hunter, I'm pretty sure, we're also with Milla Jovovich. So, yeah, it's like if you know what you want, sometimes you got to keep your hands in it. Oh, good. Yes, because I did catch this, and I'm going to go back to Nemesis. Boom. I even called this out around the 1 hour and 10-minute mark at the ending of the fight between Alice and Nemesis. The words "finish him" are used, which is, of course, straight from the Mortal Kombat games and the movies. Writer Paul W.S. Anderson has directed both Resident Evil and the Mortal Kombat movie adaptation. Yeah. It is kind of funny when the bad guy just says "finish him." I was like, yeah, wrong movie, dude. Wrong franchise. Your heart's in it. I like that. Funny Easter eggs. Let's keep going. Where we got? These are so damn long. Oh, yes. This explains some stuff. We need Jill. We need Jill back on screen. It's kind of dark. Although never referenced in the films, the newspaper clippings in Jill Valentine's apartment say, quote, "Stars operative Jill Valentine and others on temporary suspension after a mission in the Arklay Mountains." Which, of course, heavily implies that the mansion incident from the first Resident Evil game, which is in 96, I was wrong, sorry, 96, the game did happen in the film. The film's universe was off screen, which would explain how Jill knows so much about the zombies and the T-virus and how to handle it. No mention is, of course, made of Chris Redfield or other characters like Barry Burton and Albert Wesker, although they do eventually show up in later sequels. So the events have taken place, but the way they happened are drastically changed. Like I said, I think we're left to assume that's what the mansion is from the first movie, and it's like that's the mansion from the game where the things all happen, which is, of course, you see Jill. That part explains where she's been and why she seems to be the only one who knows how this works when she just comes into this movie. So we're left to assume the first game happened in between the two, or right before this. So I'd like to think that happened. Come on, scroll down. Okay, so I'm trying to think of a good picture for this one. I know I've got one of freaking. Where'd she go? Where'd you go, Alice? Why are these pictures so goddamn dark? There we go. Look, I know I have one of her holding the shotgun. I'm gonna 1-2 hit you with these. Both this film and its predecessor, Resident Evil, are included on film critic Roger Ebert's, quote, most hated list. So, strap in because I'm going to read this last one out. And it made me laugh, so I had to put it in here. The legendary film critic Roger Ebert, thoroughly hated Resident Evil from 2002, singling out the, quote, graceless zombies who, quote, walk with the lurching shuffle of a drunk trying to skate through usurped slushies to the men's room. This guy had a way with words, didn't he? Even in his more scathing review for the sequel, he wrote, quote, "The movie is an utterly meaningless waste of time. There is no reason to produce it except to make money. and there's no reason to see it except to spend money. It's a dead zone, a film without interest, wit, imagination, or even entertaining violence and special effects. This is what got me. Parents, if you encounter teenagers who say they like this movie, do not let them date your children. He was so disgusted by the film that he refused to review any more of the films in the series. So, apparently I am a problem. I liked these movies. I liked them then. I still like them now. So, parents, don't let your kids date someone like me, I guess, is the takeaway from that. That made me laugh so goddamn hard. Look, he is legendary. Roger Ebert, you know, he's one of them big names, but like still, I'm like, I know you painted a weird picture by saying like zombies shuffling through slushies going to the men's room. Like, okay, you said a lot of words and but that didn't, dude, I get it. They're not all Oscar movies, okay? That's not what you're here to do. And you just hate anything that isn't. Take it with a grain of salt. It's fun for some people. I really liked these, but you know, maybe too many people listen to Roger Ebert. Maybe that was my problem in high school. I don't fucking know. Oh God. And on that happy note, that was it. Yeah. So I kind of want to know what you thought about that last bit. That made me laugh.
That was something, he said. I mean, geez. Shuffling through slushies to the men's room? Is that what it said? Shuffling through slushies.
Hold on. I know he put more words because putting more words makes it smart.
Right.
Walk with the lurching shuffle of a drunk trying to skate through usurped slushies to the men's room.
Okay.
You could have said it was bad.
Slushing through slushies. Drunk. To the men's room. Okay. You said a lot of words. Too bad they didn't mean anything at all.
Yeah, it goes with Frank. He was wrong a lot.
Yeah, I mean, right, like that was quite a review. I mean, goodness sakes.
Parents, don't let your kids date someone like me. That's what made me. Yeah. That is harsh, though.
Yeah, man. Goodness sakes.
Without entertaining violence and special effects, dude, did you not have fun with this movie?
You didn't have any fun at all?
I guess not. I don't know what's supposed to grab your attention and keep it there. I don't.
Like, man.
Substack of all things Siskel and Ebert got wrong.
That would be interesting.
We can call it 2 thumbs down.
Good.
Oh, God.
Goodness sakes. Yeah. Wow.
Seems kind of arbitrary what you do and don't like and what you land on. I don't. Oh, damn. Even my mom said she'll know how they kept their show.
Yeah.
I guess somehow you become the voice of something and people listen to you. I don't know. It's opinions.
Yeah. Everyone's got one. Doesn't mean everyone's right.
Yeah, because they were definitely wrong. So. Whatever. Anyway. Yeah, now that we've brought the room down. I know it's kind of pot calling a kettle black. I know we're sitting here reviewing it, but I am not a professional. I'm just a dickhead on the internet who has a camera and internet access. So I'm at least being honest. And if that's what you want honesty. I'm telling you, this is how I feel about it. Yeah, that's fine. He didn't review the other ones, but that's okay because we will continue to do that. Because man, I love a good zombie franchise. I just don't know when to stay dead. And I'm not trying to dog on it. It did go on for quite a hot minute. So, yeah, that's what, good Lord, that's what we're going to keep doing. So, final thoughts Resident Evil Apocalypse 2002, Electric Boogaloo. That joke's never going to die. What's your thoughts on this movie before we wrap this one up?
I really enjoyed it. It was a fun zombie movie. Just, like y'all say, get your popcorn, sit down, enjoy it. It's fun. Plot's easy to follow. Characters are good. It's just a fun movie. I enjoyed it and had fun with it.
Yeah, it's while I do like, I do like slow burns. I do like things that build up that just smack you right in the face at the end of the movie, like some Shawshank Redemption type shit. Like when he pulls that poster away and there's that whole wall Andy dug through there for those last like almost 20 years, and you're like, holy shit. Yeah, that is great. It's amazing. However, sometimes I just want to just sit back and just watch zombies get their heads popped for 2 hours. Like, what do you want? See, I'm glad my mom would rather have honest. And I think Frank brings up a good point. The internet killed film critics. I guess more people kind of get into doing what we do, and they just straight up tell you more, average Joes and Janes telling you about these movies. Like, that's people listen to them more probably than like actual so-called critics, which I mean, that's probably why they think, fuck it, we get more clicks out of taking a hot take saying, yeah, Mario's dumb and it's always dumb and fuck you forever. Like, okay, well, I'm glad you got your clicks on your, your video or your ad or your article. I don't know. Do what you do, make your money. Who cares? Right. We all die. And if you're unlucky enough to come back again, that's, then you're in one of these franchises. Now, my quick thoughts. Like I said, it's more action packed. It's more just, it does go, A to B, B to C, C to D, and all the way to, nuclear annihilation at the end of this movie, man. They nuked Raccoon City. So that's where we're kind of left off. Where, I think I actually have, I know what Frank was saying. We were talking about thumbs and we were talking about Siskel and Ebert, and I was like, thumbs up. I see what he meant now. Thank you. He did a thing for me so we can segue into the next show. Thank you, Frank. You're amazing. So I'll kind of tidbit this at the end. Of course, like I said, Alice levels up at the end of every damn movie, I swear. She, of course, gets taken by Umbrella because the helicopter they were escaping in gets kind of knocked out by the nuclear blast, and they crash in the mountains. And of course, she's scooped up by Umbrella again. And as I titled this picture, Umbrella just can't leave Alice alone. But now, one of my favorite things about this movie, one of the coolest visuals, now it gets real. When she's walking down that hallway all by herself, after her memory comes back and she remembers what the hell happened. And she looks in this screen and just Darth Vader's the shit out of this guy watching her. This poor security guy just gets his shit just torn from the inside out, and all she does is stare at him, and we're like, whoa, she is on that kind of level now. Now she has powers of this magnitude. That shit is insane. I love that visual. That's kind of also one of my favorite parts about this. Right at the end of the movie, when you realize, oh god, now she's even more powerful, and you just can't stop her. And then of course it ends with Alice leaving the raccoon facility and meeting up with all of our familiar faces of Angie, Jill, Olivera, and LJ, posing as umbrella officers, I'm pretty sure. And we're off, as I said in this picture, off to the next adventure, which leads us into Fallout New Vegas, I think. It'll make sense. I promise. So, yeah. And now I understand what Frank was saying. So, what do you do on the internet? I'm sorry, my brain stopped for a second. I got it. I was trying to segue and I almost stepped over you. So, what do you do on the internet? Because I apparently don't know what I'm doing. Make me sound better.
You can find me on TikTok as Tin Septum. I post mostly videos of me doing haunt makeup and other random stuff occasionally. I most recently posted a video of a bunny.
You're welcome.
But beyond that, I usually post videos of me doing haunt makeup tutorials and videos. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, you can come follow me over on TikTok. It's Tin Septum, which is right here. And you can catch me back here again for the next Resident Evil movie.
I'm trying to find the damn picture because I didn't use it. Yeah, there it is. I'm like, yeah, she usually looks like this around that time. Just not as a kid, obviously. Side shout out to the zombie kids in this movie because that's just kind of funny and horrifying. Poor Terry's goes out by getting killed by a bunch of zombie kids in the school, which really sucks. It's not easy seeing zombies, but man, especially zombie kids. Yikes. Yeah. As for me, I'm a lazy bastard, but I'm always here Tuesdays and Thursdays. This week, like I said, you get 2 doses of the T-virus. Like I said, we've now done Apocalypse, and there we go. There's my thing. Thursday, we were doing Resident Evil Extinction, which came out in 2007. So, like I said, we're going to keep this train rolling. If you can't already tell, you kind of tell the vibe. Like I follow New Vegas, I'm telling you. It'll make sense when we get there. We in the bottom left corner, we finally get Claire Redfield. Woo, another video game character. I think I meant to put that in trivia. It's funny that each of these movies is like 1 game behind. Because Jill's in the first one, but she's in the second movie. Claire is supposed to be in the second one. She's in the third movie. You know, second game, she's in the third movie. Whatever. It gets there eventually. But I think Extinction's kind of just as fun. Like I said, once you just get to Alice just kicking all of the ass, it just kind of becomes fun. Excuse me. I like Extinction about as much as I like this one. So join us for that. We will be here Thursday talking about Extinction. Yeah. So stay away from Underground Hive. Anybody wearing the Umbrella Corporation logo because it's bad news bears, I'm telling you. So yeah. We'll see you guys on Thursday. Goodbye. Oh man. What do you even do? Oh, you muted yourself. Oh, that's weird.
I always mute myself.
Oh yeah, but this is our Anchorman moment. You just talk a few times after the the non-existent credits are rolling.
Well, where are the credits? We need credits if we're gonna roll credits.
I think we have enough people on like one hand to maybe have credits. Like 4 people are involved in the making of the show, so I don't know. If we roll it really slow, maybe we'll stretch it out to a couple seconds at the end there. I don't know.
Slow crawl.
Yeah, slow burn. That's what we like here. Slow burns. Goodbye, Lily.
Good night, everyone.
And now, folks, it's time to say goodnight. We sincerely appreciate your patronage and hope we've succeeded in bringing you an enjoyable evening of entertainment. Please drive home carefully and come back again soon. Good night.